Okay, everybody, Mr. V and Mr. Morse are gone today, so we aren't going to be in the shop, obviously. We've got a substitute, so needed to come up with some work for you guys to do today, and I have some paperwork, obviously. It's listed on the board. The sub's got copies of it up there for you, or maybe he's handed them out already. But the first thing on the list I'd like you to do is explain everything with 10 slides. So that's 10 slides. And I want you to think about it kind of like a PowerPoint. So you're going to have some information you're going to present. We're not looking for anything real huge or anything like that. Just kind of some ideas. What are some things that look like? And then I'm going to have you guys kind of present those next week when we're back. And we can talk a little bit about energy production. So I want to focus on energy. And you can go ahead and you can select any of these topics: electrical energy, natural gas energy, oil, coal, wind, solar, even waves, ocean waves or lake waves, and then biofuels. So what I'd like you to do is kind of talk about some pros, some cons of each of these. Okay, what are some good things, positive things? What are some negative things of them? I want you to go ahead and give me some examples of, for example, we can blow up this model of this coal plant here. Okay, so kind of describe a little bit how this works. Okay, there's some terms here we can look at. We can look at the cooling tower. What does that do? What does this generator do? What does the turbine do? And kind of describe a little bit, maybe even you could make a drawing on how this thing functions so that we have a better idea of how it works. Okay, so that's one example for, obviously, for coal. If we're going to look at an alternative, maybe we'll look at this this solar panel here, and so we'll go ahead, we'll compare this solar panel to some of these other processes. Maybe you can describe how a solar panel functions, or maybe it's a wind turbine that you're more interested in. Okay? Sorry, move that. So that's a couple of ideas. Here's another example I found. This is biofuels. So this kind of, in a nutshell, basically explains how biofuels are made. And obviously biofuels come from plants. So here's the corn that is grown, and once we grow the corn, then we move this through the process of converting that corn into a type of fuel that we can use. And so down here on this end, hydrogen is the end result. Hydrogen is a clean fuel that vehicles can use. If you guys remember your chemistry, when you burn hydrogen, you ultimately end up with water. So imagine your tailpipe having just water come out of it as you travel down the road. Talked about solar energy. Here's those solar panels again. Here's a graphic, just screenshotted that off the internet, inserted into my Explain Everything. Gives me a good visual representation of how these layers work. So what you guys could do is do some research, jot down a few things that you want to say, and then you can explain this process, what's going on right here, to ultimately light this light bulb here at the top. How does that work, and what is unique about it? And then again, what's a positive, what's a negative of using this type of energy, or this type of energy production means here in the United States. This one's on wind energy. Again, I just did a couple of screenshots, just kind of pictures I took off the internet. This one over here, you can see how does it work. when the blades start moving, they spin a shaft that leads to a generator. So again, you could kind of describe to us what a generator is. Pretend you're explaining this to somebody who may not know what you're talking about. That's one of the benefits of this Explain Everything. You can hopefully break this down and explain it so that folks know what it is you're talking about.